Welcome to Spirit, Purpose, and Energy. I'm JJ Flazanes, your host, and thank you for downloading today's episode. It is Thursday, and today is going to be a Q&A day with me, along with some testimonials that I have to share with you from our 30-day manifestation challenge. But before we get to all that, I do want to remind you about some things that are going on, some deadlines. We've got the Manifestation Mastermind. There's only 20 people who are going to be allowed in it, and we're about halfway full. So if you're interested in the Manifestation Mastermind, that will be 2 Zoom calls a month starting in January, and it will go on for 6 months. And you also have a private Facebook group to help each other manifest whatever it is you're looking to manifest. And the power of the group is not only do you get to see what's possible because other people, while they're getting and manifesting what they want, you get inspired by that. Plus, they may have resources to help you move your journey along a little bit further. And then, of course, in every mastermind group, what happens is when you create the space for the answers, it's like the vibration of the frequency of the problem is a different frequency, normally lower, than the answer or solution. So all of a sudden, when you create space and you just allow yourself to be open and allowing and receiving, intuition normally strikes you or someone else in the group while we're focused, and you get some kind of really great information, a download, if you will, an idea, an inspired action, and then it kind of has this momentum. So if you're in the Manifestation Challenge, it's a great way to keep the momentum going. I haven't done it before. It's a beta test. Therefore, it's pretty freaking cheap. It is $97 a month for 6 months, or it is $497 paid in full. I don't have a sales page for it. If you want to be in it, you have to contact me either through email if you're on my list. You can send me an email. I would say jjflazanes@gmail.com, or I'm trying to give you the best, info@invisiblefitness.com. Eventually, I will have a new email address, but right now, those would be the best. So info@invisiblefitness.com, or you can do jjflazanes@gmail.com, or go to my website and fill out the contact form. That's probably the easiest thing to do, and I will send you the links to sign up. Okay, Manifestation Mastermind. The live event in January will definitely be the last one of its kind like this. There are so many things going on that are exciting, and things are shifting, and I don't know what's going to happen next, and so I can't guarantee there's another one. So if you're on the fence, you have until December 10th to do the 2-pay plan if you need a payment plan, but it's going to be epic. I would definitely recommend that you come to Releasing What Weighs You Down, January 10th through the 13th, 2019 in Los Angeles. It's in El Segundo. You can fly in and take the free shuttle to the airport, and you never need to leave or rent a car. You can share a room. You can use points and miles. You can do a payment plan. So just let me know if you need something different. Just reach out. I'm happy to be flexible with you. If it's just, on the top of your list of something that you want to make happen, well, let's manifest that. So reach out. And then the third thing I'm going to mention now, because a few of you have asked about it, I'm going to be co-leading the Whale and Dolphin Retreat in Panama with Ann Gordon. I've had Ann Gordon on the show. She leads dolphin and whale healing retreats, where she is channeling the healing energies of whales and dolphins as we're swimming with them in the wild. And that's going to be July 7th through the 12th. So actually, travel days are July 6th through the 13th. And I've got a 5-payment plan and a 3-payment plan and a 1-payment plan for that. And there's only 12 people who are going to be able to join us. So it's only open to 12 people. It's a good investment. It's although it should round trip cost you less than $5,000, but it's a week in Panama. Everything is included in the base price except your travel, and every meal except dinner. And I will be leading some guided visualizations, meditations, yoga, beach exercise, evening meditations, along with Ann's leading of the healings that are going to happen on the boat and while we're swimming with the dolphins and the whales. So if you're interested in that, again, there are only 12 slots open. There are payment plans available. Contact me again. I am going to build a sales page for this, but in the meantime, if you're interested and want to get on that, again, July 7th through the 12th in Panama. You want to arrive on the 6th and then you can leave on the 13th, or you can extend your trip and stay longer. But either way, only 12 people are able to go. So there's 3 things on the table for you right then and there. The next free manifestation challenge will probably not be till March, just because I have to get caught up on everything that I'm doing. So if you want to keep the momentum going, I really highly recommend. It's never going to be this cheap. And who knows, by the end of the 6-month manifestation mastermind, you'll have enough money that you can come with us on the trip. So 3 things for you to consider to really help make 2019 a monumental and different year for you that can catapult you into all the things that you really, really want. So the first thing I'm going to read is from Sarah Arlia. She's been on the Manifestation Challenge now, I don't know, Sarah, maybe a year? I think you've been on a couple of them. And she wrote a nice post on November 20th that she gave me permission to read. So here I go. I was so thrilled today that I just had to share this story. It's a long one, but hopefully worth the read. I haven't been very engaged this challenge. My husband has been traveling for work most of the month, and being a single mom and working has been difficult. On Thursday last week, I took a pretty bad fall. I was walking and then I was falling. This is the second fall in the last month. I figured that my body was telling me to slow down and take time for me. So on Friday night, not able to sleep because I was in pain, I grabbed my earbuds and started listening to the Scarcity audio. I felt such a great release. My husband and I have been bickering and fighting a lot lately. He had to leave again Saturday night for London, so before he left, I loaded JJ's podcast onto his phone. I should mention, he believes in law of attraction. He's had vision boards before. We have our affirmations posted on our bathroom mirror, and he reads it daily. He has been working to become a vice president at his company, so he took his business card, wrote VIP on it, and has that on the mirror as well. All of that is great, but I felt like his vibrations were low. He says things like, I don't know if I can do this job, or I'm not sure I'm cut out for a VP role. The kids and I took him to the airport, and miraculously the little ones stayed quiet in the back the whole drive time, giving me a chance to talk to him and ask him to please listen to the podcasts. When he arrived in London yesterday, he sent a text letting me know that he listened to a couple of JJ's podcasts and he really connected with what was said. By the way, he listened to the recent one with May about abundance and intuition. For the first time in a while, he sounded happy. He even said that when he arrived, he asked about where to get his hair cut, and the hotel said he wouldn't find anywhere because it was Sunday night. He decided to follow his intuition and went for a walk, finding an open hair salon. So finally, the good part. Today I was sitting in a 3-hour meeting. Frustrating and wanting to quit my job, I had thought that it would be nice if I didn't have to work, but worked because I enjoyed it. A bit later, my husband calls. He was in tears, and I couldn't understand him at first. After a bit, I heard him loud and clear. His CEO and his boss called him. They woke him up. It was 12:30 a.m. in London. They shared that they appreciate him and all he has done, that he is doing a great job, and that tomorrow they are announcing to the organization that he will be the global VP of customer service. He manifested it and was crying with joy and probably exhaustion. JJ, he then said, I'm listening to JJ's podcast every week for new episodes now. Long story, but he manifested what he has been working for and wanting, which in turn gives me the chance now to work where I work because it's fun and not because I have to. Sorry for the long post. If you made it to the end, my whole reason for sharing this was to show that little or big, we can create whatever we want in our lives to be. I would also like to express my deepest appreciation for this group and for JJ. While I haven't been active as much as I would like to this month, I read everyone's post daily and remind myself how blessed I am to have found this group. So this was an awesome post. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing it. It does really give people some hope and some understanding about what's possible and to keep on keeping on. So I wanted to share that with everybody who is listening, because too often we think manifestation means magic, and it actually can be magic. But also people think manifestation means instantaneous. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. And there is a science to that, and we kind of go over it in the group if you've been in the group. And I talk about it on the Facebook Lives that I do in the Manifestation Challenge. And I'm going to talk about it in the Manifestation Mastermind, because it's something that we're going to be focusing on and paying attention to and celebrating and doing the practices and doing them to the level at which is comfortable for you. So now the questions. I asked the group if there's anything that they wanted me to address. So here's one of the questions that I wanted to address. It's from Johanna. Johanna said, how do you keep yourself accountable? JJ, I know it sounds silly, but honestly, as a holistic health coach mom, and wife and entrepreneur, I understand the importance when it's time to call for action and I don't have a strong follow through or lose connection and purpose for what I'm doing. I also find myself not motivated or in a creative energy. It will hit in moments and float away. Maybe it's the Virgo that I am, meaning if it isn't perfect enough, then I won't do it. Would love your feedback. Also, it would be awesome to hear more spiritual and astrological podcasts again. I would love to learn more about finding out your signs outside of the sun sign. And lastly, thank you for the opportunity and I look forward to doing this challenge again. Okay, Shannon also said, I agree with what both these ladies have said. I am drawn to the deeper astrological working with the moon and struggle staying motivated and having empathy puts me and everyone else's needs before my own. And then Jackie said, I feel the same and totally concur on how to stay motivated. I'm also a Virgo and struggle when things don't meet my expectations. I would love to hear more as it relates to astrology. I really struggle with the energies of other people because I'm constantly feeling as if I must fix things for everyone else, and this can sometimes leave me empty and depleted of the energy to stay on task for me. Thank you for this awesome experience. Johanna and Shannon and Jackie talking about staying motivated and being Virgos. Okay, let's just talk a little bit about astrology for a second. So obviously, as we've talked about before in the podcast, you are made up of many different energies and your sun sign is just one of them. So you want to look at your moon sign. Your moon sign is how you deal with emotion. And while on the Virgo side, you may be perfectionistic, and yes, maybe you don't want to do it if it's not perfect, you need to figure out what your moon sign is so you know how to talk to yourself in a way that can get you out of that. The Virgo part's only going to have so much control. But it's how you deal with your emotion. It's that moon that's going to give you the idea of what it is you need emotionally for you to recommit. So to not sound like a sales pitch, but it really is half the battle. Whenever I need to complete something, I create a group to do it. And oftentimes, people need to pay for it. And that becomes how you actually follow through with it, especially for Virgos, because you guys are stubborn. You think you can do it on your own. You think you can do it perfectly. You expect yourself to do it perfectly. And what ends up happening is that because you're so spread thin across many obligations and probably overcommitted in many ways, you're going to do whatever the easiest thing is, whatever the closest thing, the fastest thing is, but that doesn't mean it's the best thing. It doesn't mean it's the most necessary thing. You know, part of the practice that May does and part of the practice that I'm trying to implement and wanting to get Doug on board to do is really about setting that vibrational tone at the beginning of the day versus getting up and answering emails and looking to see what fires need to be put out. You are proactive in being appreciative and having gratitude into what you want to have happen as if it's already manifested. Like that is the most powerful thing you can possibly do for yourself every day, which is why I started this challenge. Part of the problem of it being free and part of the problem of it being 30 days is that not everyone, I don't force you to become accountable. I don't tell you have to post every day. So some people don't. And there's no skin in the game. You haven't paid for it. Now, I'm not suggesting you have to join the Manifestation Mastermind, but maybe there's something else locally that you want to join. Look on Meetup. Meetup has all kinds of free things, and you might be able to find a Law of Attraction group in your area that maybe has some kind of weekly check-in or weekly thing that you could join. Now, mine is virtual, and it's going to be, a good 2 to 3 hours a month of actually FaceTime where everyone gets to see each other, and then daily time on Facebook. But I'll tell you, how do you stay accountable? You prioritize and you pay for it. And I know that's going to sound like a cop-out in a sales pitch, but it's true. If it's important for you, you pay for it. You make it happen. You take that leap. In fact, I know people who were in a mastermind that I started around Law of Attraction, and they were really cheap about all kinds of things. They're trying to save money. They didn't have any money. They talked about all the time how much money they didn't have. And then when they got involved in a group, it was a mastermind group, and we're talking a 5-figure mastermind group. Okay, guys, like I'm telling you, this is nothing. $97 a month is nothing. They were paying $25,000 a person for a year. And honestly, I know some of the people in this program, and I can coach them better than they've been coached. So I went to the workshop, I went to the group, I met some of the coaches, I met the person who leads it, and I wasn't impressed. Now, back to the story about the people who were in my group. They didn't have the money, but they knew that they were around really successful people in the room. And in order to kind of play in that pool, they needed to up-level their game. And so they, without knowing where the money was going to come from, outside of their comfort zone, decided that they were going to sign up. And then they talk about how the money just showed up within, I don't know if it was a couple weeks or a couple months. I mean, I'm sure they were on a payment plan, that the money showed up, that they got business, that they up-leveled their expectation, and they opened up sort of a new way to receive. Now, again, this isn't a pitch for you to join the Manifestation Mastermind. If it's not right for you, it's not right for you. But I want to make sure those of you that are Tauruses, although Tauruses have no problem spending money. Virgos, you guys are a little tight. You're a little tight sometimes because you just think, oh, I can do this myself. Well, how many things do you tell yourself you can do yourself and you don't do it? It's not about that you can't do it. I hired a trainer, okay? I'm not working with him right now, but I hired a trainer because I wasn't doing it myself. And I wanted to find somebody who would keep me accountable. And while that didn't work out long term, because I had a feeling it wasn't going to, and something better came along, I manifested Doug, and now we go to the gym together. And I'm the trainer, and he can keep me accountable because he was a client, and I'm kind of training both of us. And it feels really good, and it works. And there are times where I go without him now because I got into the momentum of going. The problem for me was going to the gym is always challenging because I look around and see people hurting themselves. I know a lot of you do work with trainers, but I'm pretty sure that they're probably not as joint focused and biomechanic focused as I am. If they are, awesome. Congratulations. You found one of the very few on the planet who actually gave a shit about science. But in order to keep me accountable, I paid for it and I'm a trainer. Okay. So how do you stay accountable to some of the stuff? You have to figure out ways for you to have accountability. It can't just be you. You have to, whether it's your partner, your children, your church group, your friends, your business associates, a meetup group, me, or you pay for it, you have to find a way. You have to say, I value this enough to want to make sure it happens. And in order for it to happen, I need some skin in the game. And skin in the game is money, guys. Skin in the game is money. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can do that on my own. But how many years go by that you keep saying I'm going to do this on my own and you don't? Because again, you're not outside your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is to tell yourself that, oh, I can do this. And if you can, great. And if you can't, well, then you need some help. And so find a way to become accountable. Now, also on the scheduling of this all, you can become accountable in different ways. So one of my friends who came to both the January and the September event last year, she is a friend and a colleague, so she wanted to come to participate, and so she paid me to come to my events. And I've watched her grow like crazy this year, and it's been awesome. And the things that she's been implementing, and she's a Capricorn, and if there's anyone else more hard to change besides a Virgo, it's a freaking Capricorn. So I've seen some amazing results with her. She is literally a different person now than she was in January when she came to the first event. And one of the things that we discussed on the accountability that I do with the next big step, that I'll do again for releasing what weighs you down, is that she thought to like commit to something, like say like meditation, that she had to do it every single day in the morning. I said, no, just pick maybe like I don't go to the gym every day. I don't go to the beach and meditate every day. I have to look at my schedule. So on Mondays and Wednesdays is when Doug and I would go to the beach and do exercise and meditation. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we go to the beach. And on Friday nights, we would have dinner. So you have your schedule, and it doesn't have to be every day. If every day works for you, that's great. But like I tell people with exercise, don't set yourself up to fail. If 5 days is too much, you're at least going to get benefit if you do, let's say 2 or 3 days. So start smaller and don't hold yourself in this space of I have to do it daily. You don't have to do it daily. Once a week is better than nothing. So figure out what works in your schedule and somehow become accountable for it. Okay, next question is from Cami. Cami says, not sure the best way to say this, so it makes sense. Is it possible that your spiritual guide can come to you in a dream, but you feel awake and remind you of a work conversation you've had at least a year ago that wasn't pleasant in an attempt to push you to move on? Okay, Cami, so let's see. So I'm hearing that your interpretation of this is that your spirit guide wants you to move on, or let's say whatever non-physical entity is your spirit guide, or could possibly be a relative or friend of yours, you never know, or angel, you can call it whatever you want. First of all, so many of my clients, especially guys that are really kind of unconscious in life, are very well connected in dream state. They get They get people who have transitioned and crossed over coming to them with new experiences, new conversations in their dreams. So of course you can feel awake while you're in a dream. So check that off. And in terms of what information you're getting, this is when you use your intuition to figure out what it means. What does it mean to you? And like May had said, if you don't know, ask for a sign. So let's say you have this conversation, you have a feeling, but you're not sure what it means. You're like, what should you do about it? Ask your spirit guides, ask your CSO, universe, creator, God, for another sign. What did that mean? Show me a sign that would let me know my confirmation about what it is I think it means, or show me a sign for something different, or ask for the dream to happen again. Put yourself in a state where you can remember the dream and try to fall asleep remembering the scene and see if you can get yourself back into that state. I did 2 podcasts with Kelly Sullivan Walden. I'm not sure if they appeared on Spirit, Purpose, and Energy or not. Guys, I'm starting to lose track, sorry. But every show I've ever done, except ones with Doug, have been on Fit to Love, the main channel. So it was season 2 with Kelly Sullivan Walden, and she's written a bunch of books about dreaming, and she does hypnosis and the meanings of dreams. So if you haven't heard those, and they may be here on Spirit, Purpose, and Energy as well, but go back and find Kelly Sullivan Walden and the 2 podcasts we did about dreams, and that may help you uncover a little bit more about what that means. But what I would like to encourage you all to remember is to listen to your intuition and to come back to what it means to you, and to wait to take action on things until you feel a very strong impulse to do it. And again, if you need confirmation, like I asked May, just ask for another sign. Do not take action until you're sure and you're feeling really inspired in a good place. Because remember, the vibration and frequency of the problem the solution is at a different vibration and frequency. They're not in the same. You do not want to act from that negative vibration or frequency, because it's only going to keep bringing you more of what's down there. You want to wait until you're in a different elevated space with a little distance and clarity to get some kind of inspired positive action. So that way you are actually solving the problem in the frequency that you want to receive in. Make sense? This wasn't really a question, but I wanted to address something that Jennifer Parker said. She said it might seem strange to be thankful for not manifesting, but I realize I have some negative things I'm holding on to from the past that I need to let go of. Although I didn't get what I expected, it revealed what I need to work on, and for that I am grateful. And I told Jennifer that that clarity is also a manifestation. So guys, if you've been in a negative vibration for a long time, so I'm gonna use my friend as a example, my Capricorn friend who came to both events last year. She's got a Capricorn sun, she's got a Taurus moon, she's got probably another Taurus or Capricorn. She is earth, and earth. And I'll tell you, she's got a lot of resistance to all kinds of things, or she did. And she really is kind of a new person now. It's been really awesome to watch. And I would like to say that I have a hand in some of that transformation because of the events and all the tools and things. And she's been part of my manifestation mastermind that I have with my podcast group also. So, there's hopefully a little bit of JJ rubbing off on her. But the point is that clarity is a manifestation, and ideas are a manifestation, and uncovering where the problem is. I mean, we feel oftentimes that we need to get like physical things or proof in a physical, tangible way, which they will show up for you. But in the meantime, establishing the contrast, being able to see why the things have happened to you in your life that have happened, I mean, that in itself, that clarity feels great. That's a manifestation, because from that point, you're now vibrating in a different place, and now you know what to do about it. So if you're carrying around a lot of baggage and you're used to being sort of grumpy and resistant, and you don't commit to yourself, and you maybe have depression or anxiety, and you just kind of stay in that story, then you're never going to figure out how to get better or how to move through it. So the point of being able to do some kind of manifestation process, whether it be on the free challenge or in the group or on your own or meditation, is to get you to a place where you can see it from a different point of view, have a different relationship with it, and we can reduce its power. We can reduce its effect on you and lessen it a little bit and start to turn the momentum in a different direction. Because when you're going in a negative momentum for a long time, you can't just stop like put the brakes on and think you're going to switch 180 degrees and all of a sudden you're going to be happy. If you've been depressed and sad and angry for a long time, happy is not going to happen instantaneously. We have to move up that ladder from depression to frustrated, from frustrated to confused, from confused to hopeful. And now we're heading in the right direction. So keep that in mind, that you have a momentum that has been going on for you for a long time. And these practices are to help you create momentum in a better direction that's more fruitful, to help you be able to slow down and stop and turn when the momentum is in a negative direction. And for a lot of you, it's just to stop the negative momentum. The conversation, the story, the habits, the practices, the beliefs that keep you in the place where you feel like nothing's ever going to work. And that's, again, why I keep having to create these programs, because I want to help give you that space to do it. And you need to be accountable, and you need help and a community to do it. If you can do it on your own, you would have done it already. So the only other thing that I'll say about that is how I would get out of it is binge listen to Abraham Hicks stuff. So obviously listen to my podcast if that inspires you, but also on YouTube, type in Abraham Hicks. And I'm sure there's other good podcasts out there about law of attraction. I don't know them because I don't listen, but I'm sure there's somebody out there who's also doing great law of attraction podcast, or listen to Wayne Dyer's podcast. Even though he has since left us, I know his podcast is going very well. It's very popular. It's on the top of the charts all the time. So I'm sure that's also recorded and really good information for you. Okay, so that will conclude my Q&A Thursday with you, just with, again, the recommendation to find some accountability when something is important to you. Then you're going to make it work. You're going to find a way to make it happen. And if it's not important to you, then you won't. So maybe question how important some of the things on your to-do list are for you. Because the things that are not important, you'll let them slide. And that's okay if that's all you can do right now. But when you're ready to move to the next level, oftentimes we need to get out of our comfort zone and get to that next level and put our money where our mouth is and say, this is important to me, because not only are you then signaling the universe that you're ready for more and you're ready to allow and manifest more, your subconscious will help you make more, whatever that may be. Make more money, have more love, have more fun, because you're going to want to prove yourself right in the investment that you made, whatever that is. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here on Tuesday.